Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lara, or Lara Likes Mascara. I've been having a lot of camera troubles today. This video I filmed in the previous one. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I could just not say anything, but I want to air my grievances with you. But anyways, welcome to the video. I do videos about panning your collection, project pan those eyeshadows such as today's video, also getting as much use as you can and curating your collection. And I talk a lot about ethical makeup, ethical beauty. So let's get into it. What do we think of the hair today? I am not sure about it, honestly. I know that this whole like slicked back look is very in, people wearing a lot of like mid ponies or mid buns or like mid braids like this. Honestly, it just gives me flashbacks to like grade 6 elementary school, and when my mom would do my hair like this for school every day, because you know, you're like running around a lot as a kid. I had very long hair, like much longer than it is now, so it needed to stay like out of my face, and so that's just what she would do, and don't really love it, but I figured I would try it. When I'm filming this, Coachella happened the previous weekend, and I had so much fun just like watching people's stories, like the hair, the outfits, the makeup. I got a lot of inspiration. I don't think I would actually have fun at a music festival like Coachella, but I loved following along and like getting the distant experience. Did you guys follow along as well? Let me know. But let's just get right into it. So the last video I introduced 5 new eyeshadows. They weren't new in the sense that I just bought them, but they were new in the sense that I had never used them before. So let's talk about what they are. So they were all the same but different colors. 1, 2, 3, okay, my hands are not big enough for all of these. 4, 5. So, okay, we'll talk about them one by one. So these were all the Revlon Color Stay Cream eyeshadow pots. I have 705, 725, 715, 720, and 710. On the wrapping, which I removed last time, it actually said like a shade name, like chocolate or caramel, but for some reason they don't want you to know. They don't want you to remember what it is, so they keep that on the packaging so you can throw it away. So we've got a very pale shade here, like an icy cream vanilla kind of shade. This one more golden. This one is more taupey brown with almost undertones of like purple. More of a cool gold. And this is a cool shimmery pink. So I'm gonna do swatches on the back of my hand right now so you can see all of them. Honestly, some of these don't swatch very well because they are, I don't know if they're meant to be base colors, but it's really hard to get the pigment of some of these. And it's not that they're bad quality, they actually do last very well, but I think they're meant to be that way. All right, there we go. So there are these shades. You can see that there's 4 shimmers and 1 matte color. So now that we've done a quick summary, basically my conclusion in the previous video was that these are all too cool toned, and I was willing to try them. I was interested, but I really worried that they would not be the shades for me, and I've kind of found that to be the case. I'm not saying that I'm decluttering all of them right now, but I can see it happening in the future. Honestly, I don't know if it's likely that I would keep any of these long term. So let's talk about the 2 that I have decided to declutter. This matte one here, I think you can probably see that coming. It's not that I don't like mattes. I usually like mattes better than shimmers, but this is just not the shade for me. It's too cool toned. So what I'm wearing on my eyes today is this one in the outer half and then this gold one in the inner half, and they're both too cool toned for me. I don't love this eye look. I just sort of did it because I wanted to be wearing these in the video, but I do not think that I will get use out of this, so I might as well pass it along to someone else. I did use this quite a bit, to be clear. Like I did as much as I could with it, but yeah, since the beginning I was like, I don't know about this one, and I was right about that. So that's the first one I'm decluttering. The second one, this may actually come as a surprise because it looks really pretty in the pot. This is the shade 710. But it's just, again, it's too cool tone on the eye. If it was more gold bronze and it had more warmth to it, I think it could be really flattering on me. It's that second one down there. But unfortunately, this just did not look good on my eyes. I never liked the look of it. I will also include some pictures of looks I did with this right here, but I actually don't think I have too many, because when I don't like a makeup look that I have on, I tend to not photograph it at all. And that was the case a lot of the time. So those two are getting decluttered. The other three I am keeping, but I'm keeping for now. As I said, they might get decluttered at some point. I've actually found that this pale one, which I thought I would kind of like the least, I found that this is good on the inner corner. So I actually I've just found this recently, the past week, this BH Cosmetics. This is perfect for just dipping in there and getting into the inner corner. I do have to build it up quite a bit. So that's just one use there. I do have to sort of dig it in there, but it's a good shade for the inner corner. I don't mind that it's cool toned, so I'm keeping it for that purpose alone. This pink one I actually found layered really well when I was doing pink looks, which admittedly I don't do that frequently, but I really like how this looked under even matte pink eyeshadow. And this gold one, I found that it worked well with yellow, so I don't like it today. This is the inner corner, as I said, with that matte taupe shade in the outer corner. I did do this with yellows and I found that that looked a lot better, so I'm going to keep this around to pair it with yellow eyeshadow in the future. So just as last time, I'm kind of deciding on the spot what I'm going to do for the next 2 months. So I do film these videos every 2 months rather than every other month, just because I like to not have to reach for these that frequently, and if I give myself 2 months, that really gives me enough time to feel like I've reached for all of these shades enough times. So, okay, I'm going to keep a couple of these shades in, and I'm going to bring a couple new ones in. So the reason that I do all single eyeshadows is because I rotate through my eyeshadow palettes pretty well, but I'm not great at cycling through my single eyeshadows. So this project sort of makes me accountable and holds me to it. So the two new ones that I'm going to be bringing into this project are, I think, fun for summer. So this is a ColourPop shade. It's looked better. It's not in great condition, but this is still a nice shade and not one that I have anywhere else in my collection. I don't even think I could swatch it because it's so dry, honestly. I should probably reformulate that. It's really not great, but I think this would be fun for spring, summer. You know, I love reds, oranges, and yellow in the summer, and paired with that, this Wet n Wild shimmer eyeshadow, which is lots of fun. I like using this sort of on the inner half of the eye, even collarbones a little bit is pretty. I did see a look at Coachella using, I think it was like a gold shimmer and a red shade, and maybe a little yellow. I will pop the picture here. But yeah, I think that I could get a lot of use out of this summer. It's not a super intense gold glitter, but it does provide just enough sparkle, and I haven't reached for this in many, many months, probably since last summer, so I will enjoy reaching for that again. Okay, I'm gonna keep in this inner corner one because I don't really have another shade that I use for the inner corner. I just kind of stopped using an inner corner highlight a while ago, but I used to do that every day, so I am enjoying having an inner corner highlight again, so I'm gonna keep that one in. And then I'm deciding between the pink one and the gold and yellowy one. I think I'm going to bring the pink one in because I've been using this golden one a lot lately, actually, and not really this pink one so much lately, because if you can see there, like the pink doesn't really go with the other shades, whereas I could pretty much pair up any of the other shades together, but not really with this pink one. So I'm going to bring this one in, and you know, summer pinks, I can see getting a lot of use out of this. The last one that I was deciding about, but I haven't used it in so long that I actually I'm kind of missing it. I just swatched it now and I really like it. This is another one of these Revlon paint pots, but this is one that I actually do enjoy, and actually it is a good shade for me because it is much warmer in tone. So I swatched it there. Hopefully you can see that. Can you tell how it's much warmer than those other ones swatched on my hand? It's different. It's like all of them are cool toned except for this one. So this is what it looks like. You can tell just from seeing it that I've gotten a lot more use out of it than I have the other ones, and that was, you know, not even necessarily forcing myself to use it. So this is just a nice shade, and because I don't have that many singles, it is kind of hard to like switch up which ones I use each rotation because I'm only choosing between, I don't know, after these 2 declutters, I probably have like 13-ish single eyeshadows, and if every single Pan Those Eyeshadows videos, I have 5. That's not a ton of variety, so maybe eventually I will switch this up and bring in eyeshadows from palettes, but for now, this has been working really well, and I honestly don't think that I would have got use out of these eyeshadows, and I don't even know if I would have ever reached for these ones if not for this project. So that was a bit of a tangent, but I'm happy this is working out, and again, I haven't reached for this. I just don't reach for my single eyeshadows, so I'm forcing myself to reach for it, and I think that that will be a really fun color story for this summer, so I'm gonna swatch that for you right now. Well, I don't know if I can swatch this red one. Ooh, it's so dry. Pitiful! Do you see that? Oof, not great. Not great. Okay, let's do the pink next. Oof, I'm not gonna wear those together. Not gonna wear a pink with a red. Some color combinations are for me, and some are not. It's gonna be like a pretty pale color story, you know? And last one. You like can barely even see it. I don't know that I've ever had such a cohesive color story though. I mean, take out the pink and it works. Those 3 top ones there are all like nothing. I feel like that's like the no makeup look almost, just like a little bit of shimmer, which that look is not really for me. But yeah, so those are the 2 color stories. Actually, this one is pretty unassuming as well, except for that one taupe shade. But hey, it's summer. It's not that I wear less makeup in the summer, but I think people wear a lot more like shimmers, understated looks. I will of course still be playing with color with the eyeshadows that I use, but yeah, that is what I'm going to be working with for the next 2 months. I'm excited to bring back in the ColourPop and also this Wet n Wild Gold Shimmer. That's going to be a ton of fun to play with, just as sort of like a topper. Like I can do my whole eyeshadow look and then I'll add just like a little bit of gold shimmer, and I think that would be a ton of fun. So yeah, that's going to be it. Of course, I will update you again, I think 2 months from now. I might do 1 month just because this month it was a little bit behind schedule. Usually I do every other month Project Pan and then Pan Those Eyeshadows the first week of the month, but this month, because I was doing a challenge, I will link it here, I didn't get enough use out of these eyeshadows, and so I just pushed it back a bit. Honestly, I don't know if I should continue this for that much longer, just because it makes the most sense for me to do this with my single eyeshadows. I suppose I could do it with my like eyeshadow palette eyeshadows, but I just don't think that that would work for me as well. So yeah, I'm not sure what I'll do, but hopefully by the next time I will have figured out the trajectory of this Pan Those Eyeshadows. Also, this is gonna be the last video I'm filming for a while. My upload schedule should remain the same as usual. I've pre-filmed a bunch of content. I just have a couple of hectic weeks. My life kind of revolves around film festivals, and another major one is coming up at the beginning of May, so I'm gonna be out of office from sort of end of April until mid-May, I would say. Hopefully I can get everything edited and up on time. Hi, this is me from the future, just coming in to explain something a little bit. So I filmed this video like over a month ago, I want to say, and then I wasn't able to get videos up 2 weeks in a row, so I actually changed my intended order. But anyways, all this to say, at this point, we are back to a normal upload schedule, and yeah, it'll be every Saturday at 11. I did run a poll, and I will be incorporating everyone's feedback to do a graveyard project pan, I think, rather than a Pan Those Eyeshadows. So I'll be switching over to that my next update. But everything that I say here, like, that already happened in the past at this point. I thought that that video was going to come out before the festival that I was working. I probably don't need to explain the timeline, but just if you're confused because you're like, oh, you already said that or something, here we are. And that's gonna be it for this Pan Those Eyeshadows video, and now I'm gonna talk about a book that I have been reading lately. Okay, so what I've been reading lately is John Green's The Anthropocene Reviewed. I will show it here. I am sort of between third and a half of the way through, so, you know, I haven't read the majority, but I think I can safely say how I feel about this book, because John Green has a podcast called The Anthropocene Reviewed, which he then kind of adapted into this book, and many of the chapters are directly taken from the podcast, which I think is great. Like, I'm glad that it's getting a broader audience because, you know, a lot of people who are fans of John Green don't necessarily listen to his podcast or like aren't aware of all of his various projects. And so it's good that more people are getting to hear this now because it's just lovely. Like, I love the way he writes. I love the way he explains things. It's very satisfying. It's very emotional. Like, he can make the strangest things emotional. I don't care at all about sports. At all. And yet one of my favorite chapters is about this soccer player. So each chapter is about a different facet of the human-centered planet. That is what the Anthropocene is. Like, we are in the Anthropocene. It's not, you know, the Jurassic period, the Cretaceous period. We're in the Anthropocene because humans have had such a negative effect on the planet that we're in like our own age. So he just talks about things like, he talks about grocery stores, he talks about soccer, he talks about whatever he feels like researching, and it's super interesting. I highly recommend listening to it. It's very soothing. This came out like a year ago and I decided not to read it just because I listened to the podcast. Like, I was familiar with pretty much the whole thing already, but so many people talked about it that I was like, okay, I'll give it a listen. I know I'm going to enjoy it anyways, even if it feels like I'm listening to it for a second time. So that is going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of this Pan Those Eyeshadows, and yeah, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye!